Larry, they brought... Two teams trying to stake their claim to postseason football. Week 14 of the NFL is underway. This will be fielded at the 6. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by the man running the show, Charles, their quarterback. To throw now on first down. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. Give him 9 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and short. They'll set up to throw. And some room to maneuver. And now a fumble. The ball's out. And the Colts pick it up. Oh, and now he's into the clear. Past the 20. And he will score. Touchdown, Indianapolis. And give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
Now Adam Vinatieri for the point after. And this is good to make it 7-0 Indy. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Out now comes the Houston offense as you take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. As we take a look at the playoff picture, and certainly a lot of jostling still to go in these final few weeks. For the moment, they would be a wild card team, far from locked up, but that's why this is exciting. These last few weeks, a lot to play for.
Yeah, exciting for us because we get to talk about it, and, you know, at the end of the day, 6 teams are going to go from each conference, and guess what? We're going to have a playoffs. But nerve-wracking for all the people involved, all the teams, because their goal is to get there. And anything less than that makes the season a disappointment. So they've got to be primed now for a big finish to their season. Partner, it's not often that I expect running backs to eclipse 100 yards in back-to-back games, but he left 100 way behind last week. I think he's going to do it again. I'm expecting 150 or more.
And last week, AFC Offensive Player of the Week. So if he does what you say he might, maybe he'll get another one.
Hey, I think he's locked in. Wow, that play got shut down in a hurry.
As soon as the snap came, you could see defensively they were just closing in. That was going nowhere.
Yeah, you count on your offensive line to give you a little bit of space, a little bit of time so you can make a move. There was none there for him.
And the offense behind the chains here, a touch on 2nd and 11. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Hard throw, incomplete. The Texans send the punter out as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin them back. So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their quarterback, a product of NC State. It's Jacoby Brissett. Brissett on first down. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
Unable to connect on the first down pass play. Now it's second down. The first carry now for Joey Josefa. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. The numbers for him from a week ago. 12 carries, 130 yards.
He's having a nice season, and he knows where he ranks in the league. Don't ever let a running back tell you that they don't know that. They do. So what he's doing now is lobbying the offensive coordinator all week long. Hey, how about a few more touches? He's one big game away from maybe leading the league.
Here's Joey Josefa, and he'll get this only up to about the 35. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. And the big meat on the D-line, we'll see how they do today.
And I'd hate to be an offensive lineman having to deal with these guys. They come in hungry, mean, and confident. They think that no one can block them.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Third and short yardage, Brissett. And this is going to be incomplete.
You absolutely have to have this early on, right? 3rd and short, they elect to throw for it. And that's normal NFL football. They're going to throw on 3rd and short, but you got to hit it, don't you?
Yeah, in the first quarter, like you said, to set the tone, can't connect there. The Colts send out their punter as he's on here to punt it away. And a fair catch called for and made just outside the 15-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. And now out comes Houston. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done. Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play and break through the barrier.
And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. A gain of 3, 2nd down. And this defensive line will be looking to control the point of attack.
And that's what they've done throughout this season. This is a terrific unit. They play together very, very well, and they don't permit big plays to happen.
Decent chunk of yardage still left here. 2nd and 7. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And he will find his man on the end route. Complete. And he gets this one all the way up to the 40-yard line. Now after the play, it looks like there's a Texan here slow to get up. While he gets attended to, we'll step aside. Now the offense lining up 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. And he's got some space here. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up second down. Going to give this time to the tailback. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. Of course, he was solid last week. AFC Offensive Player of the Week award. 2 touchdowns in that game.
Yeah, he's playing at a level right now where he's just breaking down defenses. Makes me remember when I was playing and my defensive back coach told me, listen, if you give up a touchdown pass, that's on me. I didn't coach you well enough. If you give up a second one, that's on you. And if there's a third one, I'm getting someone else in the game.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here.
Let's go! Green 39! Green 39!
And he'll give it here to his running back. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
Came out in a power set, but that only served to put more men in the box. And guess what? If you're going to do that, you've got to win up front, right? Your offensive guys have got to beat the defenders. They lost all leverage on that play.
Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7.
All right, here we go. Boom, landed.
He'll drop to throw. Oh, he's got a little daylight. Nifty move. 9 yards on the play and a 1st down. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively.
Here we go now.
They go play action here on 1st down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. A few issues here on the offensive line. Apparently, he got sacked 5 times last week. They got to him here in the 1st quarter.
And I would think that running the ball would be paramount here because it's a different team they're facing, but they watch the film as well. So they'll take many of those same principles and try and apply them in this game to see if they fixed what was wrong with them in the last game.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Count me as a little bit surprised by what we just saw there because this has been a pretty long drive, and normally you think that wears down a defense. In this case, looked like the offensive line let them down a little bit.
They allowed the penetration and the ability to stuff them for a loss. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
Let's go. Boom, landed.
They're going to look to throw. And that is incomplete.
I know every coach talks about respecting the ball, taking care of the ball, but when it's 3rd and long like that, your trigger man, he wants to make a play. And on that one, he's trying to force one downfield to make that play. It just didn't work out.
Yeah, he tried to make the play. A little risky, but it fell incomplete. As the Colts offense makes their way out, we take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different. Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
A second down throw for Brissett. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Good yardage there for the Colts. 18 and a first down. And before they can run another play, the clock hits triple zeros. And time is up on the first quarter. 7-0 is our score. We're back to Houston in just a moment. Back with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Colts in possession of the football to begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a first down. Brissett sets to throw it. No gain on the play there. It'll be second down. Off the play fake. Here's Brissett. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line. They give him a gain of 38.
That was a nice pickup, some chunk yardage there. Some of those big yards downfield with a little bit of rack thrown in there, a little run after catch. And it came on a crossing route. I could just hear one of my friends who won 4 Super Bowls as a quarterback always said the same thing. What route does a defense hate? Crossing route. Hate it, hate it, hate it, because it's hard to change direction when they get going full speed in the other way.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Brissett now on second down. Oh, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And that play goes nowhere. He's met behind the line, and a penalty flag may add insult to injury. So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just look in the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
Here we go. 38.
Second down, Brissett. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. The passing game for the Colts finding its stride, another first down. He's got good size. We know he's tough to bring down running the ball. That also carries over to the passing game like we saw there.
And at his size, how'd you like to try and stop him on that angle route? Him coming out of the backfield, breaking sharply, catching the football. It's going to take a lot more than one guy most likely to bring him down. That was a nice game. Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football. Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it. Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. This is 3rd and goal, Brissett. And that is caught. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
That time, a 9-play drive. And it culminates in an Indianapolis touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Here comes Bruce Ellington on the return. And now running right through it. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Out now comes the Houston offense as you take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. 10 yards still left on second down.
Single, slop. Hey, you're on an island over there. You're on an island.
They'll look to throw here. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. It's a gain of 9 yards. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
The Texans on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Back to throw here. And he fires one, but incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They look lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
The Texans send the punter out as he'll come on to kick this one away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
And he doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. And they give this time to the tailback. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
Throwing. Brissett. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
And the Texans have an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down.
From
the shotgun. It's Brissett, and he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
A first down throw for Brissett toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Second down here after the incomplete pass.
Here we go.
Out of the gun, Brissett. And he's going to be brought down here in the backfield. Angelo Blackson in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year. He was superb a week ago. 3 sacks in that affair. Now 1 here in the second quarter.
Well, how about our conversations this week? With him, it's pretty simple. He said, I've got a few combinations I can try it out they haven't seen yet. And on the flip side, they thought they had a plan to block him. Might need to come up with something else because he looks like he's getting loose now.
Punch, counter punch.
Here we go.
It's 3rd and long for Brissett. And he's going to go down again. Angelo Blackson in there to get him. And that is sack number 15 for him on the year.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
The Colts send out their punter as he'll kick it away for the second time. Here's Ellington.
Whoosh.
Nice job on the return there. 16 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now out comes Houston. Now, if you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game, though. Sometimes the better punter may actually determine the outcome.
And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle.
Here we go. 3-19.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Some nifty running, but it only gets him to the 45. It's a gain of 4, but they're still looking up here at a tough 3rd and 11.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
Now back to throw. And some room to work. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the first down.
Let's go.
2 minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to Houston after this timeout. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Larry Ridley will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. looking to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and that'll make this a second down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He'll hit Jackson, complete. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Out of the gun now on third down. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this third down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
And his kick is indeed good. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. A little bit of a lower trajectory there on the deep kick, and it worked.
Had to do it because he had to drive it out low because of the length of the kick. Able to do that, got it above the defense and over the post.
This is taken at the 3. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. First down, Brissett. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1. On 2nd and 10. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they did incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Now a handoff looking right. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. .46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. And now out comes Houston. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. He'll look to throw. He's going to air one out. And they went for a big play through the air on second down. Couldn't connect. Now it's third.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
319! 319!
And he'll give it here to his running back. And a short pickup here as he'll get across the 10 to the 11-yard line. And now here's a timeout called by the Colts on the defensive side of the ball. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Returnable here from the 38. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out there now. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. His throw incomplete.
The effort's always going to be there. Everyone's always going to try and make a catch, but underthrown balls, I think, are the toughest ones to come back and get because usually your momentum's going in the opposite direction when you're trying to stop, break, and come back and get it.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And a stoppage here, a timeout before this 3rd down play takes place, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. So we're back in the offense getting set following the call of that timeout.
Here we go! 38!
On 3rd down, Brissett. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. Brissett to throw on 1st. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining. They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored 1, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And not much running room. Down to the 32. So we come to halftime here with the visiting Colts taking the lead to the locker room as we send you over to our headquarters in Orlando where we check in with Larry Ridley for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, back to you guys in a minute. But first, it's indeed time for our EA Sports Halftime Report. The Texans trail at home at halftime. The Colts have come in and looked good as the road team. And we'll just keep trying to play hard and maintain the lead going forward. All right, let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. 1st and 10. Hill's got the sack here. This goes for a loss of 9. Now 3rd and 8. Warner's found on the quick pass and catch, and he capped off the 8-play drive with a TD. Colts up by 2 touchdowns. About halfway through the second, defense will win the battle and get the sack. This one ends up as a loss of 6. So that'll do it for us here in Orlando. For the call of the second half, let's hand it back over to Brandon and Charlie. Brandon.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. Out come the Colts. They'll have it first here to start quarter number 3. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spend the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 14. And to give this time to the tailback. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Call it a gain of 6 on the play. That'll bring up 3rd and 8.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out. But a running game can really benefit your team right now.
A dump down to Turbin. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
That one's good for 35 yards on the ground and a first down.
And that's why defense coordinators always preach 11 guys to the ball. Because sometimes you have a missed tackle, but if you have a swarm of guys around, less room for them to roam even after the first missed tackle. In this case, tackle was missed, plenty of open field to get after that.
And he'll get a couple here down to the 22.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Partner, that defensive win reminds me of something a coach of mine used to say all the time. If you really want it, you'll find a way to go get it. And the defense did exactly that.
The Colts on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 10.
Here we go.
Here's Brissett. His throw caught at about the 5. And they do get him down, but not before he reaches the 4-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
And now the offense operates in the red zone. To throw, Brissett. And he's got his target. It's caught for a Colts touchdown. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, the second half, no matter what, whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever, this was a big score to start the second half.
And it's 21-3. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And the result for the Colts is a touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. So here's the Texans offense now. They get set to start this third quarter. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
He'll look to throw. And he's got room. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. Call it a gain of 3, and that'll make it third down. The Texans on third down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. Here it's 3rd and 3.
Here we go now. 3, 19.
Back to throw. And unable to connect. If he had caught it, it would have been a first down. Instead, it's 4th.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. The Texans send the punter out. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And there's a work of art right there. Out of bounds at the 2-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And they were good last time out with a touchdown drive. This go-around, it's not going to be very easy starting from inside their own 5.
But they shouldn't be daunted by it. You work on this the entire offseason. You work on it in practice. It's called coming out session. Start the ball inside the 5, start on the 5, on the 10. They should be ready to go.
Now a play fake here on first down. Looking sideline, incomplete. He was looking for Daniels that time, and now it's second down. Offense still needing 10 yards. Second down.
Let's go. 1, 9.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a short gain here as he gets it up only to about the 6. Give him 3 on the play, and it'll be third down.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Forcing completion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
To throw is Brissett. And this is going to be incomplete.
In the early days of the NFL, you could easily blame these drops on maybe some uneven or uncertain lighting in the stadium. Not anymore. The lights are pretty good.
Yeah, they're great here at night, but his second drop, indeed, not a good look. The punt team on now is from their end zone. They get it away. Ellington now to return it.
Return team.
And that negates a pretty decent punt return.
And the goal is to gain a first down on a punt return, which is 10 yards. This was much more than that, but it is going to come back due to the illegal block in the back.
Here we go. Blue 90.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it'll be second down. So this brings up a 2nd and 2. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
So it'll be first down here after the run. Now they'll run on the draw. He'll be stopped short of the 25. The nice move couldn't free him. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. The Texans on 3rd down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. And for the 2nd time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. He hit his first one, this from 44 yards out now. And his kick here is good. And that'll get the deficit down to 15. So a good snap, good hold, and that one's right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit them, Brandon.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken in at the 1. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. He has been consistent, hasn't he? He played well in the first quarter, good second quarter, and now continuing that here in the 3rd.
And that's the word that they're always seeking from the guy taking the snaps, is consistency. Taking care of the ball, making sure it gets to the right people, no errors, right? Not turning it over, and just doing all the right things. That's leadership, and it inspires confidence in a team.
Yeah, been a good leadership and a good distributor. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
I don't know whether I want to be a fly on the wall or not when they hear the explanation of how he, one of the bigger targets on the field, the tight end could be that wide open and uncovered downfield. Who blew that assignment?
Somebody did.
No doubt about it. There's no way you're not going to account for him.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
And that's why you see a lot of teams that like to play 4-3 defense, especially against teams that run the ball really well, because you count on your defensive front, the tackles and the ends, to eat up the blocking in the offensive line and keep that guy in the middle clean so he can roam through the football and make a tackle. In this case, he introduced himself and said, "Hello, my name is Mike."
And they're able to get this one down to the 25. 23 yards on the play.
Almost not fair. The big guy running the corner route, being able to lean and push and get to where he wants.
So how do you stop it?
A lot of times you want to have a linebacker on him, a bigger body guy who can handle him physically. But a lot of times that doesn't work as well because his quickness often wins the route.
One quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Colts. They've got control of the football. They also have the lead as we start the fourth. Going to give this time to the tailback. He's able to work free for about 6 down to the 18.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now.
Come on, let's go.
A second down throw for Brissett. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. Angelo Blackson in there to drop him, and he continues to wreak havoc in offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. The Colts on 3rd down, 5 out of 9 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12.
Come on, let's go.
From the gun, here's Brissett. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
There's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Vinatieri now on to try the field goal for the Colts. This to make it a 3-score game late. And his kick is good. Didn't hit it all that well, but he got enough on it to put it through. And that will make this now an 18-point ball game. And you figure with that, this game's pretty well out of reach.
It would take a heck of a comeback at this point. Being 3 scores down, I think that's too much to ask with time winding down here in the 4th.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken about the 12. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. That's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set them back for 2nd down. Looks like the defense in press coverage here.
Here we go now. Boom, landing.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Jackson's got it over the middle. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
The Texans on 3rd down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This is 3rd and 9.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll look to throw. It's caught by Jackson. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down. Did they maybe play that too safely on 3rd down? I know you don't want to just throw a ball blindly downfield, but that didn't help them a whole lot.
I think they probably said if it's open, take the shot. If not, get something safe because we do have 4th down to try and pick it up.
They'll set up a throw. He's got the first down and more past midfield. And he takes this one all the way across midfield into enemy territory down to the 40-yard line. They get 25 yards out of that one. And it'll give the Texans a first down. Felt compelled to go for it there on fourth down, trailing in the fourth quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a fourth down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You start to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels.
Watch it now, Barney.
They'll drop to throw. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Anthony Walker able to use that strength and get him for a loss of 2. And when you go 5 wide like they just did there, you can't really max protect, can you?
No, you cannot. What you're hoping is that by going 5 wide, you're forcing the defense into coverage. And if you do that, you got a chance to find some people downfield. But if they audible themselves and go into a blitz, then it's got to happen right now.
Or
very
lights
quickly.
out.
Or exactly right. Turn them out. That play's over.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. And on third down, the Colts have added an extra defensive back.
Flooding the passing lanes.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll look to throw here. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's fourth down. Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on fourth down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Found his target. It's Anderson. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line. Give him 22 on that one. And the Texans are going to have a first. Fourth down, trailing in the fourth quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays have been successful throughout the game that have worked in the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
And now a first down following that long gain.
Let's go. Green 39.
And they'll run it here. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. Now this will be the 9th play on this drive. And movement here by one of the Texans up front. In comes the flag.
False start, offense.
Expect this from the visiting team when playing indoors, but not the home team.
They're supposed to get all the advantages, right? The home crowd's supposed to help them. They forgot where they were, perhaps.
Green 39. Green.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he rifles one incomplete.
And on 3rd and 15, we see the dime look, 6 DBs on the field.
Playing pass all the way.
Here we go.
Back to throw here. And he's unable to haul it in, so it falls incomplete over the middle third of the field, and that brings up 4th. It's been that kind of a day so far throwing the football. It just seems like nothing going right offensively.
Yeah, it's a catch that should have been made, pure and simple. And look, everything else that goes into running a good pass route, throw it all out if you don't catch the ball.
Been that kind of game throwing the football so far. Nothing going right offensively.
False start, offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down.
Here we go now.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. The Texans tried it, but they come up empty here on 4th. And the Colts are going to take over with a football. So they've converted their first 2 4th down attempts. Not there. Now they're 2 for 3.
You think maybe the offense coordinator expended a little capital on that one? You know, when you're 2 for 2, you can lobby for that 3rd one, right? Didn't get it there. Maybe now the head coach might not be so eager to go for it as we go forward.
And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get free, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Didn't get to the sticks, but that's an ideal carry there on 1st down, isn't it?
I mean, now you're 2nd and 1. Although, you know, in the NFL, even if he picked up the 1st down, I don't think it's a big difference because the clock doesn't stop.
Yeah, not like college.
Right. If it's college football, you want to 2nd and 1 is probably better than picking up the 1st down because in college football, the clock stops with every 1st down and actually aids the defense in that situation.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
I know we're in the era of wide-open football, a lot of spread formations, more space, but there's still a spot for power football, and we just saw some of it right there. How about that run?
Yeah, breaking the tackle, and, you know, late in this game, he wants a football in his hands. He's had a good day. And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. Now a handoff here to his running back. And a good burst there gets him 7 up to midfield. Good gain there on 1st down and keeps him in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him. Ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Now that's a nice play. Got me fired up, partner. But can they do it back-to-back plays? All the training that you go through as a defense for these situations, when you have to get the ball back, everything you go through, holding up the runner, raking at the football, getting to the passer, knocking it out of his hands, whatever way, they have to get the ball back.
Now can they stand tall again for a huge 4th quarter stop?
Come on, let's go!
Brissett from the gun on 3rd. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. The Colts send out their punter as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. Fair catch called for right around the 11-yard line. 36 yards on the punt with no return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Out now comes the Houston offense as you take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC.
Keep 15, keep 15. Green 39, green 39.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. And he slings one that's incomplete. He was waving his arms, wanted the football, but he dropped it. And that reminds me of a story you told me from your days at Tennessee. We don't need to mention the other guy's name, but when he dropped an open pass that you blew coverage on, what'd you say to him?
Yeah, it's really not right since I blew coverage, but since he dropped the pass, I said, well, maybe next time he'll just walk it out here and hand it to you. Would that be easier? He wasn't real thrilled with that.
That's cold-blooded. Cold-blooded. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. 16 yards on that one, and also a Texan first down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Here we go now. 3:19. 3:19.
Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. So the offense has it 1st and 10.
Here we go now. 3:19. 3:19.
Now back to throw. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. He was out there waving his arms saying throw it here, dropped it, not a good look.
Well, all I can do is just look at him with contempt on that one. As a defensive back, I'm saying, not as an announcer. Just like, really?
A little bit of a diva look, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so, because I think what happens is he just had too much time to think. He's wide open now. Here comes the ball, and he doesn't concentrate and drops it.
Now let's go. Green.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. And he comes back with one complete. And, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
Face mask. Defense.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they're march off another 15 against your squad.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. On the right side, this is Miller. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. Back to throw now on 1st down. And that's complete. It's Allington. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. He got 29 yards that time. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And too much on that one. It's out of the back of the end zone, incomplete.
You got to be precise with your throws, especially in this situation. You're inside the 10-yard line going into the end zone. But sometimes the emotion, the excitement, sometimes the decisions just aren't made very well because of that.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. His pass caught at the 4. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. The catch good for 6 yards, but now it's 3rd and goal. And that one's going to be over everybody in the back of the end zone. It's incomplete.
Brandon, some of those windows that throw the football that exist when you're between the 20s, they don't exist when you're this close to the goal line. But as a former DB, I liked it close.
The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. They're turned away on 4th and goal. And it would appear the Colts are going to win the football game. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
And now Indianapolis set to take the field. They come into enemy territory, and I don't care what the matchup is in the National Football League. You're up like this late in the game on the road. This feels pretty good.
Oh, it feels fantastic. Anytime you get a road victory in the NFL, that's a big-time accomplishment. And to do it this convincingly, that just tears up the script that every home team has, which is nobody comes into our house and pushes us around. They took care of business today.
Yeah, they pushed around, and now the final stages of this one.
Yeah, that wasn't a big run, just a short one there. But guess what? Sometimes you treat it like boxing. You throw that jab out there, and you throw it again, you throw it again, then you come with a big punch later. Maybe they're just trying to set them up.
It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming. The Colts on third down. They've converted 5 times in their many chances thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Colts, it's an important win for their playoff hopes as they move to 8-5. And they'll return home next week to take on the New Orleans Saints. Meanwhile, for Houston, it's loss number 5 for them on the year. And they'll be at home for one next week as the Atlanta Falcons come to town. So that's a wrap. For Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. With that, we say good night, everybody.